Nice to see you once again.
Nice conference today.
Yes, I will say it is. Even though I'm not fully aware of the whole thing that took place, but I believe it is good. I believe it is good. Even though I wasn't here from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, but based on the information, they're happy with the performances of every person. Yeah.
Can you tell us what you've learned from the conference today? Anything that has been answered?
Well, really, I don't think so, because I think we need more information about quite a lot of issues and subjects. So something, I guess maybe there will be another roundup where we get more information about. I mean, we're talking about Nigeria, 140 million people. We're talking about Nigeria with enough resources and all this reform and everything that is taking place. So I think we need more time to discuss quite a lot of shit. And bear in mind that he's the presidential candidate, then I think extra time is needed. Yeah.
As the CEO of the bank,
His Excellency, do you watch Big Brother, sir?
what is your general view of Nigerian politics in Africa in general?
Nigerian politics, I believe, is much more stronger than it has ever been. Why do I say so? Because a lot of parties have been registered. A lot of people believe that they have the potential, the capability to rule and to govern, and that is of serious interest to me and to many Nigerians. Things are not being swept under the carpet anymore. It means people are challenging whoever is in power. As you can see, there's AC, there's AD, there's ANPP, there's PDP, and all of them believe that they can win the election. Now, rightly or wrongly, it shows that people are willing to listen and people are willing to make a deal and collaborate in order to get another party out of power. Now, hopefully it will not get too violent. So far, there's no any indication towards that direction. But again, we have to look that nothing really should surprise people about Nigerian politics. We have been there, but we are praying definitely that things will get better every second, every day, every month leading to that time.
Are you concerned about the youths? Because the youths are not happy with all these politicians.
The fact is nobody's ever happy with anything. Either the youth or the old people, everybody's agitating for something. Can we get the right people in? Yes, subject to who voted them in. And if you don't get what you're looking for, then automatically they're the wrong people. So be it PDP, be it ANPP, ACAV, ANPGA, sold on something, the election take place and it is successful. I think every Nigerian, every African will be proud. If we're okay in Nigeria, then every African country will be okay.
Who will be casting your vote?
I'm not registered to vote in Nigeria, so it means I cannot vote.
I asked His Excellency if he watches Big Brother. What do you think will be going on in his head?
Is that Big Brother Nigeria or Big Brother
UK?
Big Brother UK.
But there's a race controversy,
yes.
which is all over the world now.
Well, the girl has come out and said she doesn't intend to be racist. Now, do you believe her? The fact is, I always say, if people are racist, there's nothing you can do about it. This is not my country. I'm adopted into this country. I'm African, Nigerian by blood. But the fact is, I think we just have to be tolerant. I don't know how you feel if white men come to Nigeria and crowded the whole place and become everything that you cannot be. Not that we are here. But the fact is, the whole world has seen how nasty a little thing can turn to. And the girl might end up being more successful than ever before. Or it might be bye-bye, no more stories from her. But she's already made her money. So who's suffering? You still have to vote. In fact, a lot of people that voted actually gave her money, because if they vote and it costs 20p, it means they just contributed 20p of their money to...
My name is David Wombebe. I'm a Nigerian based in London, and I'm a chief executive of a voluntary sector organization. Not been involved in politics, so this particular seminar is of particular interest to me to see what the thinking is amongst Nigerians about what we need to do back at home.
And what have you learned from this seminar today?
I think there is a real determination to change things. Now, it's how to effect that. obviously there is the general who had come to these particular discussions, and it seems that there is a great deal of hope and faith being placed in him to help to facilitate those particular changes in the future. So I hope he does I hope he gets the chance to do so.
Will you judge him by his last achievement when he was the head of state, or will you judge him by what you have heard him saying today?
Obviously, one cannot just totally forget the past, but we utilize the past to learn from and hopefully effect better things in the future. So I think people should be looking at what he's capable of doing now. The circumstances have changed since when he was in government. Now, I mean, we're thinking about a different sort of platform for which he can effect certain changes in the country, and I think he's going to be a very positive one if given the chance.
If you had the opportunity to ask him a question today, what question, strong question, will you be asking him today?
I think that one of the questions I was interested in, he had been asked, but I would like to follow that up. It's about young people, because my profession involves educating and training young people. The truth of the matter is, the view I've got is that the educational system in Nigeria is gone poorer, unfortunately, and we really need to improve on that. We need to give those leaders of the future an opportunity not only to have the right sort of skills, have a good perception of what it is their country is all about and the communities around them.
And how do you think you will have handled that?
Well, I think that the responses he gave were sort of encouraging. There's still a lot to be done on the ground. Like anything else, I mean, one can have some sort of aspiration in terms of how you can address a particular situation. Now, when given the chance, hopefully, what we will do is ensure that things start to change from grassroots, because young people will have to have value to whatever it is that they do at home that has not sort of material gain to it, but one that they see as part of themselves and their own upbringing in their own country.
Can you see the people here today trusting His Excellency, General Buhari?
I think generally there is this great understanding that is someone they can have faith in. His past obviously is part of the credit to that faith people have come to have in him. So I will comfortably assume that people will be very supporting of what he has to do. But like anything else, we Nigerians have become a little bit skeptical, because we get promised quite a lot of things. Regrettably, as we've known in recent history, not much has been delivered. But I think this man can make a difference, but he needs to be given that chance to do so.
Does it worry you in a slightest doubt that we are having 2 ex-military men coming to power again? Does that bother you at all?
I don't think it bothers me. I think it has to do with the substance of the individual that is coming. Their background, I mean, if we were to take people's background, then the truth of the matter is that we'll have very few people, or none at all, that we could say could lead a very complex and diverse country like Nigeria. We have to have the faith that some people have got the quality, they've got the skills, they've got the experience to at least start the process or continue where others have actually left. But I think now, some of the aspirational things he's spoken about, I think is something that could be realized, but needs to be realized by somebody that is very committed, one that could follow through some of those particular changes irrespective of the emotion, because things like this can sometimes get emotionally charged, right? And people will need to forget about that and think about the actual country itself and its constituents, and that's us.
And in your own view, what is going on in Nigerian politics right now? We have this controversy between the President, Mr. President, and his Vice President. How is it settling?
I will only comment, if you don't mind, I will only comment on something that I have knowledge about. As I've said, I've been very detached from the process because I'm not really interested in politics per se. I'm interested in what happens to Nigerians.
And why are you here today if you're not interested in politics?
I think I'm getting rather very curious now about which direction our country is going. I'm getting a bit troubled. At one time, it could be something that perhaps I could have dismissed. I don't think that I can do that any longer. I think I need to stand up. I want to stand accountable like anybody else.
And
Take
out
an
of
interest.
curiosity, aren't you curious about having a president fighting with his vice president?
All of that is very interesting. It is very interesting, but I say I would prefer to speak or respond from a position of knowledge when I actually know what I'm talking about. There's quite a lot of hearsay. I can't base a judgment on just simply hearsay. That is not to suggest it's true or not true. But I don't have that particular knowledge. I've been out of the country for quite some time. Do you understand what I mean? So it could be misleading, whatever the opinion is. But it is very symptomatic of what is going wrong in our system, though. That much I can say when the president and his own vice cannot speak with a common language. The people who suffer are Nigerians, regrettably. So somebody needs to be given the chance to lead. That's all I can say.
And that person will be, in your view?
As far as I'm concerned, it needs to be General Buhari.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Please.
My name is Khadija.
Are you interested in politics?
Not in politics, but in Nigeria, yes.
You mean politics in Nigeria?
I'm interested in my country, but not very much about politics.
So why are you here today?
I'm just here to see what the potential is for the country, and I think it's worth giving its support to.
What most interests you here today about the seminar?
Well, it was a nice setup, but mostly the demeanor of Buhari himself was very encouraging.
Say that again?
His demeanor.
Yeah.
You know, he carries himself without all this bigness. He doesn't, you know, and he talks like somebody who really wants to change things. No, I will give you the sun, the moon, and the stars speech. It's just, this is the problem, and this is what we have to do about it. And I think that's good.
Did you know him when he was the head of state in Nigeria?
I was a little girl then, yes.
Yeah, but what can you recollect about him as a child?
Well, I could recall that things in the country were working. Yeah. And there was a lot more discipline, definitely. We were afraid to throw things out of the car when driving because somebody will get you. Right.
Do you want that to come back again?
That and more. That and
more. Do
more.
you think it can work?
Yes, he can. But he will have to be given a chance first.
And how do you feel as a woman in Nigerian politics?
It's a dirty game, quite all right, and it doesn't give much room for you to be a good person. Yeah, so I think it's something I wouldn't enter.
Will you be voting for him?
Definitely.
I'm fine, and you?
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Were you at the seminar?
I was at the seminar, yes.
What prompted you into coming here?
Well, my work colleague, he's from Nigeria, he invited me to come to this meeting today. I'm well happy that I came.
You are not Nigerian, are you?
No, I'm from Barbados, but my friend is from Nigeria, and he invited me to this meeting.
Have you been keeping in touch with politics in Nigeria lately?
Well, I don't know much about the political situation in Nigeria, but what is important is, for people to have good health care, good education, and things like that, which is important for any part of the world.
And what do you find interesting about the seminar today? What is the most interesting part of today in your own view?
By my own view, the president, what his name was, General Buhari, is well loved by the people. Even at the grassroots level, the people really love him and supports him. And I think that's very amazing. Yeah.
If you were given opportunity to ask His Excellency, that's what they call it, His Excellency.
His Excellency, yeah.
Is the next to God.
Yes.
So,
yes.
What question do you think you'll be asking?
What would I ask him?
Any issue at all?
Well, most of the questions were asked today, about health, education. But the thing is,
if he was your president, for example, what would you ask?
What would I ask him? I will
He was an outstanding head of state before.
Yeah.
So that's why people love him, obviously.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you be asking him, you've been there, you've got the t-shirt, why do you want to come back again?
Well, that's a question, what I would ask him. Well, yes, you know, but you know, the people is well known in Nigeria, as probably other parts of Africa, and the people, they love him, and also they know he's an honest man, you know, and this is what Africa, not just Nigeria, but the whole Africa need honest leaders to progress. You see, because if we have these honest leaders, then this is what the outside world wants. They can go there and do as they like. So they need honest men like him.
In your own view?
Yes.
Do you see him as honest?
Yes, he's a very honest man. You can see here today, you know, how the people follow him, and you know, why they want to take a photo with him, and you know, and so forth. You know, he's well loved.
My name is Dr. Arabo Ibrahim Bayo. I'm the General Secretary of Foundation for Good Governance and Development in Nigeria, FGGN. We are the organizers of this event because our organizations support General Buhari for his presidential campaign. We are not a political party, but we are supporting candidates that we think will bring good governance in Nigeria, and that's why we are supporting General Buhari. We did support him in 2003, and we still find that he's the only credible candidate that will move Nigeria forward. And that's why we organized this event, for him to come and talk to Nigerians in diaspora, let them interact with him, hear about what he has to say, ask their questions, have their doubts cleared.
Excellent seminar today.
Thank you very much for saying that.
What do you think people have learned from this seminar today?
I think they have learned, one, who General Buhari is in real person. They have read about him, they have heard about him. Many of them have not met him, they have met him. They have had all the misgivings that they had. He has cleared it. He has spoken to them. We have seen a true Nigerian leader who wants the progress of that country, who feel for the masses and feel for the development of that country more than anybody else that I know of. And I think, if anything, those people who came here might have seen that today.
And how did you think he handled all the questions that were asked here today?
The time was short, obviously. There were many questions, and some of them have to be written, and he promised he will answer some of them. I think he has, in my own assessment, he has answered most of their questions. He has most of the doubt people would have, he has answered them, and he has been very frank and to everybody, and has answered all the questions honestly and truthfully. And he's a man of his words, and this is from Buhari, is what you see, what you hear is what you get. And that's it, there is no deceit, and that's the man. And what he said is right, what is in his mind. And everybody should take it as it is.
And why do you think he wants to come back to the political system again? Why do you think he wants to rule Nigeria for the second time?
Buhari himself said it. He joined politics because he found that politicians or the governance in that country was becoming a problem. Politicians that have come are messing up the political process. And he felt, after going into the military, after leaving the military, and looking at him himself, he said he has changed. He felt politics, running government, is no more a military or a dictator issue. It's a democratic process. And the only way he can get that country out of the poverty, out of the corruption that is there, to get the infrastructure running, going again, is for him to do something about it. And the only way he can do something about it is to join the political process. And therefore he joined the political process. Having been the head of state, he cannot do any change by becoming a governor. He cannot do any change by becoming anything else, but by aspiring to be the president of the country so that he can change it. And that's the only thing.
Many people have expressed their feelings about his rule when he was the head of state as the military. A lot of wonderful things were said about him. In your own view, what do you like about his legacy when he was the head of state?
Discipline, hard work, anti-corruption, and making sure all the due process of law, even though it was military government, but when they set laws, he followed the laws to the letter. And irrespective of who, member of his government, minister, businessman, if you flout the law, you will account by the law. And that's what I want about him. And if he, in a democratic process, I believe he will follow the Constitution. I believe he will pursue the rule of law. I believe he will give us a purposeful leadership. I believe he will wipe out corruption. I believe there will be no insecurity in Nigeria.
And in your view, how do you think it will turn Nigeria around from corruption?
I think what Nigeria needs, if they know the head there will not tolerate corruption, he is not corrupt, his family members are not in the corruption business, he will not tolerate anybody who is corrupt with him. They will, Nigerians, you know, and everywhere else, they will follow suit. The ministers will follow suit, and the ministers and those who work under them know that their boss at the ministry will follow suit. And that itself is enough to change corruption out of Nigeria.
And as the chairman of the Foundation of Good Governance and Development in Nigeria, why have you chosen General Buhari out of all the parties contesting for this next election? Well, to correct you, I'm the General Secretary, although at the moment I'm the leader, but I'm not the chairman. We supported General Buhari because our principle is we want good governance and development in Nigeria. And we look at all the presidential candidates, we saw none of them can give us that good governance and development in Nigeria, in the present decay of Nigeria, apart from General Buhari. If you look at all the others, they are the same corrupt individuals, either came from PDP, or are still in PDP, or just have been chosen by the powers that be in PDP, that are still there. And they are the people who are going to, if anything, what happened in the last 7 years did not give me any confidence that any of them, now nobody can sleep in his house because of insecurity in Nigeria. No roads, no hospital, no school, no jobs for everybody. I think General Buhari is the only candidate that can turn that country. There's a big issue in Nigeria, which is the issue of the Delta Niger state. How did you propose to solve that problem?
The Niger Delta issue will be solved not by force, it will be solved by having everybody that has, from the militant and the Delta region, the youth, the oil companies, the international community, other Nigerian groups, all have a stake, have something to say about it. And everybody will have to trust somebody that they know will keep his word, and will know they will negotiate their way. They will all need security, they will all need school, they will all need that, and that's the person that will do that. Once there is jobs in Niger Delta, once there is security in Niger Delta, there is no going to any militant in Niger Delta. And that's why it's going to be the solution.
How will you convince people to go and vote for him?
He's the best candidate. And he has been tested, he has been tried, he has been found incorruptible, he has been found to give a purposeful leadership, right from when he was the head of state to the time he headed the Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF. And you can see what he has done with the little money he got from PTF. I think that's the person to turn around Nigeria around now. If any Nigerian wants Nigeria to turn around and become a great nation, then that is the person to vote.